The first thing we want to make sure we understand is that we have our place value here. So we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So when you see a number that's written like this, that's 7 dimes and 4 pennies. 7 dimes makes 70 cents plus 4 pennies makes 4 cents. So hundredths, there's 100 pennies in a dollar is what that's saying. What you want to get in the habit of, even though right now this should be pretty easy, but it's going to make it so you don't make mistakes later, is to say, okay, this says 349 thousandths. You just showed that thousandths is 1, 2, 3 place values over. So we're going to put our decimal point, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. And like I said, today you probably don't need to do that, but it's a good habit in case later you're getting confused. And now we just fill in our numbers, which is 3, 4, 9, and obviously my pen does not like working today. And then you have your answer. So if we're going down the column, we have tenths here. Tenths is just 1 over, so we just have 2 tenths. Here we have hundredths, so hundredths we have tenths, hundredths, 2 over, and then we just fill in the 90 here. Now number 13 is where it's a little bit tricky because we have to look here that we have thousandths, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Remember thousands has 3 zeros, so you have 3 place values. We want to make sure that we're writing 1 thousandth. If we put a 1 here and fill the rest in zeros, that says 1/10 or 100 thousandths. So we want to make sure that instead we put the 1 in the thousandths place and then we add our zeros in. The rest of these I think you guys can handle on your own without my help. So we're going to move on. Again, I want to encourage you guys not just to look at the numbers and write the decimal because that's what you know you're going to be doing in this assignment, but get in that habit of reading through the problems because later they're not going to be isolated as these are all decimals and this is all addition and this is all multiplication. So if we look at number 17, it says a large building has 1,000 windows. 5 of the windows need to be replaced. What decimal represent the number of windows that need to be replaced? Well, I'm going to write that 5 out of 1,000 need to be replaced. That's not my answer though because it's asking me the decimal. Now I'm going to convert that into a decimal and I have thousandths. Oopsie. So I'm doing tenths, hundredths, thousandths. I'm going to put a 5 here and the other parts become zeros. Number 18 says, at a reception, 23 out of 100 pieces of wedding cake have been eaten. What decimal number represents the number of pieces of cake that have been eaten? So once again, I have 23 out of 100 pieces of cake that have been eaten. I'm going to convert that into a decimal. I have hundredths, so I have tenths, hundredths, and now I'm going to convert this over here, and I have 0.23 or 23 hundredths. And once again, I think the other two you guys can handle. Just like I said, try your best to read through the whole problem and not just take the numbers and turn them into a decimal. The top of the remembering section, almost all of you can remember how to do all of those. There's nothing tricky in any of those. So we're going to go straight to number 10, which brings us back to Unit 1, where remember, we need to say what's happening to this number to get to this number. Well, it's getting bigger, so we know we must be multiplying. So I think to myself, or adding, I think, okay, I multiply 3 times 9 to get to 27. I need to check that to make sure that 8 times 9 equals 72, which it does. So I know my rule is multiplying by 9. So I'm taking, I need to use my variables. I'm taking P and I'm multiplying it by 9 and it gives me E. Like I told you in Unit 1, if you put that times 9 right there and then you just look at it vertically and then you just convert it to be horizontal, you have your answer. Some of you are remembering that we can also write it like this, 9P equals E, and that's excellent too. So now we just have to finish off here, and we have 5 times 9 is 45. 11 times 9 is 99. I already have it this way, so when I go the opposite way, I'm dividing by 9, which gets me 10. And now I can check my work by saying 10 times 9 is 90, and that one works. So the same thing with this. I'm going from a smaller number to a bigger number, so I must be multiplying or adding. I'm going to start with multiplying. 2 times what equals 16? Well, 2 times 8 equals 16. Let's check it. 4 times 8, yep, that equals 32. So we know our rule is times 8. Now you're taking this and you're turning it and making it horizontal. So I just put it in the exact same order. R times 8 equals S. Or again, I could say 8R equals S. Now here's my row of R, remember, so I have to take R, multiply by 8, and I get 48. If I already have the S, I'm going to instead divide by 8. 64 divided by 8 is 8. 88 divided by 8 is 11, and then my chart is done. Number 12 is asking us actually for quite a bit of information. We have to figure out both the area and the perimeter and then figure out if Lyle is correct. Because it says he found the area of this figure here to be 34 inches squared and the perimeter to be 40 inches. So we want to see if he's right or wrong. So let's find the perimeter first. Remember, the perimeter has to go all the way around the whole thing. So I have 10 plus 17 plus 6 plus 8, and now I have to figure out the two unknowns, because even though there's not numbers there, they're still part of the perimeter. So if this whole side here is 17 here, and this is 8, I can figure out this by saying 17 minus 8, so this here must be 9, because 8 plus 9 is 17. So now I'm going to add 9, because that's part of the perimeter. So now I have, oops, I'll switch back to red. So that I have this, and now I have to figure out this last little bit. Well, once again, I know that this whole side is 10. This little part is 6, so what's left over is 4, because I have to have them equal each other. So I have 4 plus 6 is 10. So now I'm going to take my red and I'm going to add on that 4. And now I'm going to, I have 27. I have 14, I have 13, and then I add these together. 7 plus 4 is 11, 12, 13, 14. 2, 3, 4, 5, and I get 54. So the perimeter is 54 inches. So I know he's not correct, and this is my explanation here. Now, to find the area, I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff. And I'm going to say, okay, let's split this complex figure, and I'm going to split it like this. So now I have a vertical rectangle and a horizontal rectangle. My vertical rectangle, I have 6 here, and then remember, I said that this side here was 9, because 8 plus 9 is 17, so this is 9. My horizontal rectangle is already done for me. I have 10 and I have 8. To find the area, I just multiply these two numbers together, length times width, and I get 80. Length times width, and I get 54. And then I have to add these two together, and I get 134 inches squared. So he was super far off in his area, and where we're explaining how, this is our explanation. Number 13 brings us back to about the first week of school where we had our comparison bars. It says Julio earned 1/4 the number of points as Paulos. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is say who earned more points. Well, if Julio earned 1/4 a fraction of the points, then Julio earned fewer points than Paulos. So Paulos earned more. So now we're going to take and we're going to put all of these things into our comparison bars. So we know that the 1/4 is going to go here. It says Julio earned 8 points, so Julio earned 8. Remember, this 1/4 we can kind of think of as being multiplying by 4 because we want to get our big number. So then we have 8 times 4, and that gives us Paulos, and Paulos earned 32 points. And that's it.